Hello, and thank you for coming back to visit. Yours truly, Miss Anita. I want to share a few things with you. Again, these are some things that was pressing on my heart and mind. I was listening to a message today. This time was Elevation Church. I believe last week it was Church Home, but this was Steve Furtick, and I may be mispronouncing his name. But I didn't hear the whole entire message, but some of the pieces that I did hear in the message was truly amazing. And one of the things that he was talking about, briefly, was daughters. How the fathers are supposed to teach the daughters their self-worth. Because what I want to share, if you know as a woman our self-worth, then perhaps we wouldn't deal with some of the things that we've had to deal with. I know for myself some of the things that I've gone through in relationships. If I knew my self-worth earlier on, I don't think that I would have married the person that I married, and not taking anything away from him because it was my decision as well. And looking back, I'm thinking we wasn't compatible for each other. He was someone that I knew from high school. I was in a previous relationship or engagement. We broke it off, and I knew this other person liked me, and so I jumped into another relationship. Didn't have enough time to heal, didn't have a time to self-reflect and think about my likes, my dislikes, what I wanted in life, what I didn't want, time to heal, time even to grow. And I jumped immediately into another relationship. And again, looking back, I don't think that we were really compatible at all. It's just that I knew that he liked me, and then it just went, and I moved in with him. That was the first mistake that I made. His mom was putting pressure on him. I was putting pressure on him, and there you have it. We got married. A marriage that didn't really last that long, so it ended. And then if that wasn't enough, then jumping out of that, a divorce. Well, number one, we went through a divorce that I never wanted. I mean, I was raised in church, and we were always taught to work out your differences in your marriage. Going through a series of men who I quickly learned really didn't appreciate me, truly did not value me as a woman. And had I valued myself more, I would have never gotten to those relationships, or not even relationships, encounters, if you will, and making you feel even less of a person. Do you only have to deal with the hurt of a breakup of a marriage, but now dealing with people who are taking advantage of you because you don't know who you are. And it took me a very long time, many years, and even being in another, I want to say it was a serious relationship. I mean, I was in it for several years, on and off and on, but never really going anywhere. And I think it all started personally from my childhood. And I think had I had a stronger relationship with my father, who could have taught me my self-worth, to value myself, as I think that all women, especially young women that's coming up today, to our young teenage girls, to our young women who are in their 20s and 30s, to know your self-worth, that you deserve so much better, that you don't have to wallow in a relationship to someone that's mistreating you or making you feel ashamed or less than. Know who you are. And I guess it does go back to loving yourself, but I know that there are a lot of women out there that do not have fathers in their lives. And then I heard so many people say, like, well, yeah, we know that a two-family household is good, is better, is true. But sometimes you can be in a two family, not a two family, but a two parent household is what I meant. You can be a two parent household. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's always healthy either. I grew up in a two parent household, and it wasn't everything that it was cracked up to be. And I'm not going to go into a lot, but I honestly, if a father could know the impact that he can have on his daughters, on his sons too as well, if he can show them who they are, their value. Let me say this. Look, some young ladies was not fortunate enough to grow up in a two-parent household. I raised my son pretty much by myself. Well, with the help of my family. My mother was always there, and so was my sister. So to me, I felt very blessed, and I was very fortunate. Some people or some women are not that fortunate, but so when you are lacking a good, strong male figure in your home to help the young ladies to know who they are, to love themselves, to value who they are, and to not let anyone mess over them, then as they get older, it does create a problem because it does make a major impact in your life. And then you'll spend your life, or at least of the best of your years, trying to figure some things out. Things that you should have known or learned, maybe not known, but learned earlier on in your childhood. And that's why it is so very vital or very important for the father to play a major part in his kid's life, especially in their early childhood. That's important, especially for a daughter, because I think that it makes a difference as they grow older, who they pick or choose as their significant others in their life. Not jump into relationships just because a young man say you're beautiful and, saying all the right things. Find out what their value is. Find out what direction that they're going in. If they just want to mess around, just, get a part of you and, not stay. They're not in it for the long run. They just want to play. Then you need to dismiss them. And unfortunately, a lot of us women, that's probably my age and some that's younger, maybe in their 30s, 40s, 50s and up, have gone through some bad situations. I mean, all of us wasn't fortunate to marry our sweethearts. All of us was not fortunate enough to, or maybe have the wisdom at the time to find the right mate for them, or to know who would be right for us. Maybe I should say it like that. It's this is very serious, because a lot of you out there may have young ladies that you're raising, or little ones that you have, and it's vitally important. And if the father is not in the household, well, first of all, let me say this, because I was going to say if he's not in the household, he should still play a part in his daughter's life. However, on the flip side of that, you have to know if the father is safe to be around. You have to know that he's going to instill some good values in his daughter. That's important too. Because let me tell you, if not, and it's already traumatic at the home front, it's not going to get better as she gets older. And she'll spend the rest of her life trying to figure some things out that she should have already learned earlier on. Like I said, her self-worth, her value, knowing who she is, and not having to just deal with just anyone and just take a lot of foolishness that's out here. I mean, just because someone says that you're beautiful and make you feel good at that moment. You need way more, much more than that. Do they take care of you? Do they care? Do they uh, show you in ways? I mean, are they courteous? They don't call you outside your name or make you feel bad. I mean, yeah, you're going to have differences in relationships. All relationships, real relationships, you're still going to have your disagreements. But how is it handled during that time? Is it hollering and screaming all the time? You don't need that. That's not healthy. And are they able to maintain a steady income? Do they have a good foundation? Do they have good values? Do they know the Lord? If that's important to you, you need to find that out. Again, I'm going back to your childhood. And I know that there's other women that's out there that's had some traumatic experiences in their childhood. And I know that it's played a major effect in your lives, in your relationships. I think Oprah Winfrey has a book out now, and I forget the title of it, but I know it's dealing with childhood traumas. So you guys may want to check into that. But I think I'm sending this message out for the young ladies to hopefully not have to go through all the foolishness that I feel that I had to go through for many years and to figure some things out. It took so long. And so many other women that's my age, maybe a little bit younger, but still, I mean, if you're in your 50s and 60s, I mean, we're supposed to be teaching the young ladies. I don't want you all to make the mistakes that I have made. And that's what it's all about. When you raise your children and their children and your children raise their children, you always want it to be better for the next generation and the next generation. So my message is for the young ladies and for the older women, because we are here as elders to help the young ladies. And I know to not make the same mistakes that some of us have made, because look, the young men are going to be whispering all kind of stuff in your ears and tell you how beautiful you are and you're so nice and sweet. But you have to watch them and you have to go with your gut. If something doesn't feel right, and the problem is that we fall in love and we start taking a lot of stuff. You fall in love and you ignore all the red flags that's going off. They're going off left and right, but you're ignoring them. Pay attention to them. That's my message to you. And yes, I know sometimes we don't want to let go, but sometimes you have to let go, because the sooner you let go, there's something better around the corner. The longer you hold on to it, then you may be missing out on what God really has for you. That's my message to you. Or you'll be like me, and many years later, I mean, I'm older. I still want someone in my life, but I'm thinking of all the time that has passed, all the time that has been wasted. And I don't want that for our young girls. I hope that if you got a good father, whether he's in your home, a mother, father home, or he's not, and your mother and your dad has either separated or whatever the circumstance is, if he's a good dad, then he should teach you your self-worth. And it's not that you won't get hurt sometimes. There may be times, yes, your heart may be broken, but not stay there, not wallow there, not stay in it. Get out as soon as possible, because time is of the essence, and we only come through this life once. So don't waste time. Know who you are, and keep if you like moving. What you heard, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe, and come back and visit me again. And if you like, please leave me a comment. I'd like to know what was said, or what I may have said that encouraged you, or maybe brought back to your remembrance.